And the second project, which wasn't anticipated, so this is the second project. We're building a stair in here, and the big problem with building a stair here is there is a cement wall right here that is an extension of this retaining wall. Now this retaining wall and this garage were built in 1925 when the original house was built. We've never replaced the garage. And so this wall here was below grade, and when we dug down we ran into it. And so you can see here I've cut this piece, and this one's short because it comes up against the wall, and we're trying to get over the top of the concrete with our next walk going through. So this is the second one. We used the forks to pop out some of the concrete wall was available to be broken out. What's there now is pretty darn solid. I've swung a 8-pound, 9-pound maul against it and don't make much progress. So I'm afraid we're going to be stuck with what we've got. And then these timbers that I'm using here, those timbers that I'm using are 6x6 ground treated, pressure treated, cedar colored out of Menards. They had the best price. And then there's I don't want to shut the screen off. And then I use these. These are GRKs. They're 3/8 by 12. And so this 3/8 by 12 will go through the top and all the way through the bottom and stick out the bottom a little bit. Nice big heavy units. So we're going to be working on this a little more today.
Okay, so what we're doing here is notching for the section that's going to go over the top of the wall, and doing the notching by cutting slits in the wood, the depth that's necessary for the notch, and you just keep repeating the cuts so far apart from each other until you get the whole area cut out. And then once you get the whole area cut out, you can begin to notch it. Alright, we are just notching using a chisel to get the wood out from between each of the notches that we sawed. This is a great way to create a partial notch, whether you're meeting two 2x4s or you're going over a rock.
Alright, just to show you this, I notched this out. We were high here, so we notched a little bit. I really could have come forward a little more with it, but I am within a fraction of a bubble. So that is good enough. So we're going to screw this into place. Too much.
Okay. Using this Milwaukee 8-inch 18-volt electric saw to get through here. This is actually my wife's, and so she gave me quite a hard time that I was going to use it for this. You start the cut here, and you can see I'm making a classic mistake. I was well aware of what I was doing. I just didn't intend to go as deep as I went, and you'll see in a second I'm going to pinch the saw. And it's interesting in the electrics, it's not nearly as bad as pinching a gas saw, and part of the reason is when you take your finger off the trigger it stops, and so no harm, no foul. But the reason I did that is because the wood is too heavy, and so now I can hold it just for the little bit left to cut through. Not ideal, but again, no harm, no foul. It worked well. Here we're clearing some dirt. We're going to set some rock for the tail end of the next elevation coming in. And so, that was kind of the way it's done. We set one in and then put the next one on top of it, screw it to the stair we've put in, add some rock under it to get things level on the tail, and do it again for the next one. So it worked out really well. Bagged rock was just so easy to work with, and you only had to handle it 40 pounds at a time, and that was really nice. And so just fitting everything together here and checking for level, and just getting it all processed and then screwed together. So there's just a lot of get it level, get it screwed, get it level, get it screwed as we come up through the layers that are here. But everything went really, really well. It came together really well. I'll show you the finished product at the very, very end. These GRK screws are the bomb. They're long, they get through, but the star wheel is a pretty good clip. My impact wrenches, because these are so big, aren't capable of doing it. I'm actually going to probably get a bigger one. So I used the twist drill, but this twist drill is not all that new, so it didn't have the fancy anti-kickback and other aspects that some of the newer drills have. I will say this Milwaukee saw is super handy, and I'm really pleased that we have it. My wife intends to use it to limb trees and stuff in her gardening, but man, I might acquire it and just hang on to it. As you can see, it's just more piece parts. We're getting right up near the top level here, so this is going to come together pretty quickly here. We're making some final decisions on how big the top is going to be. And because of the way we decided to do it, we're actually going to set the back on rock and then screw it into the cross pieces. In all, I think I went through about 30 of these 3/8 by 12-inch screws, and I went through 4 6-inch screws, because you don't see it yet, but in fact, I'm not sure I'm going to show it to you. Across the back of this I put a 2x6 between the stub ends of these two that you see here, creating something that we could fill against to lock the top into place. So there's a 2x6 going across below grade, helping to hold it in place. So each of these steps, from the front of the one to the front of the next, was 12 inches. It makes a nice step. We had a rise of 5.5 inches, because that's what a 6x6 is. I'm sorry, 5.5 by 5.5, and then we set it 12 inches back, and it made for a nice run. When we got to the top, we were within 2 inches of grade, so we just pulled grade back about 18 inches and sloped it down into the top of the stair assembly. And here we're just starting to fill rock on the sections below. In each of these, you get them framed up and then just filled them with rock. The advantage of the rock here is that the rain will slide down right through it. There's layers of rock all the way down, so it'll drain really, really well. But the other aspect is that if it settles a little bit, you just go buy some rock. And as I said, here you can see the very last one is actually sitting on rock. And then below it is this 2x6 that I told you about. That is below that one that we're putting on right now. But this is the finished elevation right here. And we'll get this all filled with rock and then show you what the final product looks like when it's all done. But we are right in there. Had to actually move some dirt out of the way just so I could get the screw gun, the drill in place. Had to do that on both sides. So just some of what you have to do when you're working in the dirt, you got to make those adjustments. You got to do what you need to do. Fortunately, a shovel takes care of most of that. Okay, we're going to finish this up. Actually stripped the GRK, but we pulled it, put another one in. We were good. Thanks to my wife and my youngest daughter, they did all the dig out work here. And then my Annalie, my number 4 child, you saw her in the earlier video, putting the chains on the tractor, did all the backfill. You're going to see it here and get a good look at it. Hope you really enjoyed this. Maybe picked up a few things on notching and other things. I hope you'll join us again for some upcoming projects, both here at the City House. You'll see when we come up to the end of the video a bunch of things for that as we take a trip down and take a look at the finished product. But like and subscribe to follow, ring that, hit that little ring button so that you can be notified when I do post. I'm trying to post weekly. I'm behind. It takes time to do these in amongst work and projects and everything else. So we're going to bring some videos from the farm, and then we'll show you the rest of the stuff that we did here at the City House with the tractor. We're going to load the tractor out in a day or two and bring it back up to the farm. We're somewhat done here. But thanks for joining us.